Slow days. Darling, I know you don't care about the art of the novel, but you might like the part about forest lawn. It's well known that for something to be fiction, it must move right along and not meander among the bushes gazing into the next county. Unfortunately, with LA, it's impossible. You can't write a story about LA that doesn't turn around in the middle or get lost. And since it's the custom for people who like LA to embrace everything wholesale and wallow in forest lawn, all the stories you read make you wonder why the writer doesn't just go ahead and jump, get it over with. I love LA. The only time I ever go to forest lawn is when someone dies. A kid from New York once said, "Look, which would you rather, to spend eternity looking out over these pretty green hills, or in some overcrowded ghetto cemetery next to the expressway in Queens?" LA didn't invent eternity. Forest lawn is just an example of eternity carried to its logical conclusion. I love LA because it does things like that. People nowadays get upset at the idea of being in love with a city, especially Los Angeles. People think you should be in love with other people, or your work, or justice. I've been in love with people and ideas in several cities, and learned that the lovers I've loved and the ideas I've embraced depended on where I was, how cold it was, and what I had to do to be able to stand it. It's very easy to stand LA, which is why it's almost inevitable that all sorts of ideas get entertained, to say nothing of lovers. Logical sequence, however, gets lost in the shuffle. Art is supposed to uphold standards of organization and structure, but you can't have those things in Southern California. People have tried. It's difficult to be truly serious when you're in a city that can't even put up a skyscraper for fear the earth will start up one day and bring the whole thing down around everyone's ears. And so the artists in Los Angeles just don't have that burning eagerness people expect. And they're just not serious. It makes friends of mine in New York pace and seethe just remembering the unreasoning delight one encounters with the cloud-like marvels of Larry Bell. The idea of an artistic community evaporates into the slow days. Inspiration and words like that get hurried along with the fast company. It's impossible to tell if one's been inspired, or if it was the cocaine or what. In an Italian cafe, where one day the incredibly beautiful young waitresses are going to poison, I hope, one by one, all the vulgar and insulting men who've ever gotten away with murder and crude remarks. One night, I saw on the wall, neatly, in black magic marker, "It ain't Hollywood, my boy, it's Mescalito." In Los Angeles, it's hard to tell if you're dealing with the real true illusion or the false one. The houses and architecture that originated in Los Angeles are entitled the bungalow style. I live in one, a bungalow. People with sound educations and good backgrounds get very pissed off in LA. This is not a city, they've always complained. How dare you people call this place a city? They're right. Los Angeles isn't a city. It's a gigantic, sprawling, ongoing studio. Everything is off the record. People don't have time to apologize for its not being a city when their civilized friends suspect them of losing track of the point. When I was growing up, civilized friends of my parents and even my parents used to complain all the time about how the LA County Art Museum was a travesty unparalleled anywhere for dopiness. They'd really get angry each time they recalled how Stravinsky was never so much as nodded to by the city. I used to wonder when I was little how a city nodded to Stravinsky. City Hall was all the way downtown, and Stravinsky lived in West Hollywood. These adults used to sigh and say, if he lived anywhere else,